Hey, what's going on, world? This is your girl, Queen Aishah, and thank you for joining me for another dope episode of I Know Dope People. Our guest today is not only is she dope, she is like extra fresh. Like I've been knowing her for many years, right? But when you start doing your research on your people, I'm like, no, she like extra dope and extra dopey fresh. But before we get to our special guest, Maimouna Youssef, aka Mumu Fresh, March is Women's History Month, so we're going to touch on a woman that I'll be featuring. But first, we're going to get to our Queen's Quickies. So my super duper producer and friend, Katanya, is from Baltimore, and she attended the CIAA weekend in Baltimore, Maryland last weekend. I was in Maryland, but I was on the Silver Spring side. If you ain't from the DMV, get a map, look it up. And she was there in person. This was the third year in person. I'm sorry, the second year in person. The first year was actual virtual. And it was on fire. DC was popping. DC and Baltimore are about 45 minutes apart, but they don't really like hang out with each other like that. But when it comes to a party, we gonna get together. Okay, this is what we doing. So Katanya's daughter, Gabby, is a basketball player and she's a star athlete. Okay, so she participated in some of the events that they had going on during CIAA weekend, and she also won some of those contests in b-ball. Okay, go Gabby, go Gabby, go Gabby. Now, if you all have not checked out Samore's new Netflix special, oh my gosh, I watched it the other day. I texted yesterday. I was like, yo, this special is off the hook. When I tell you she touched on everything that went on pandemic-y time, she touched on everything, and it is hilarious. And she gave great points. So if you have Netflix or you got somebody else Netflix, like log in, go ahead and check that out. You will truly enjoy it, and you're going to have a lot of takeaways and callbacks, as we say in comedy, for things that we touched on. I'm just going to say, I need a knee. Okay, now we're going to get started with Women's History Month. So March is Women's History Month, and the first person that I want to honor and shine is author Zora Neale Hurston. She was born in Nogosha, Alabama. She grew up in Eatonville, Florida, which I actually did a show there years ago. And knowing that, because she's actually my grandmother, Grandma B, may she rest in peace, she lived to be 102, her favorite author. So when I was in Eatonville, Florida, doing a show, I was like, oh my God, this is where Zora Neale Hurston is from. This is my grandmother's favorite author. So it was great to be there. She actually passed away in Fort Pierce, Florida. She was educated at Columbia University, Howard University, and Barnard College. She is an anthropologist and filmmaker. She portrayed racial struggles in the early 1900s of the American South and published research on hoodoo, which you all may know as voodoo, which is a set of spiritual practices, traditions, and beliefs created and concealed from slaveholders by enslaved Africans in North America. Four of her most known novels. One is Their Eyes Were Watching God, Barracuda, the story of the last Black cargo. And I got to read this one. It says, Hitting a Straight Lick with a Crooked Stick, Stories from the Harlem Renaissance. So if you are not aware, do not know of Zora Neale Hurston, please do your research and check her out. And that is our March feature for Women's History Month. Miss, author, anthropologist, filmmaker, Zora Neale Hurston. Thank you. Now, my guest today is from Baltimore, West Baltimore, Maryland. Let's be very clear. And we met, oh my gosh, in like 2001, I believe. I was volunteering with Womb Work, and she was a part of the youth. And what I like about Womb Work, and they're still in existence, is that they would take youth from the city of Baltimore and take have them use their traumas, their life experiences, and put them into art. So they're getting to express themselves, but they're also getting to heal themselves. Mama Kay, Mama Rashida, like I'm so grateful to this day that they invited me to be a part of that community, because it's a beautiful community of women just loving on our babies. And Maimouna Youssef, aka Mumu Fresh, was a part of it. Some of you also may know her. She was the first season of American Idol. She was one of the finalists. We'll talk about that more when I bring her up. But she attended Duke Ellington in Washington, D.C. She is a Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, and MC. She just toured Dubai, and she put up awesome, amazing photos. She rocked out on the NPR Tiny Desk Network with my boyfriend in my head. No disrespect to his wife, Black Thought. We go together. He don't know we go together, but we go together. Please welcome to the show, Maimouna Youssef, aka Mumu Fresh.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm busy. Just trying to keep it all together. Yep.
Yeah. Well, first, assalamu alaikum. Let's start off like that.
Salam.
Yes, honey. Yes. I said, I'm gonna put on some African gear. And I'm gonna put on my dad, when he went to Unrwa, he actually brought this back for all his daughters. Beautiful. It's the door to one of the temples.
Yeah.
But that was years ago he went. So yes, thank you so much for your yes. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God, Mama, I am so. It's when you and it's what this is what's so great. My show is entitled "I Know Dope People," and this was created to showcase my people. Whether no matter how close, how long I've been knowing them, and whether anyone else in the world knows of them. But I want people to know we have people that are contributing great things to the world, whether you know them or not, right? So when I start, it's different when you're like, okay, I know Maimouna, because I think the last time we saw each other was at a jazz show in Largo, Maryland.
Yeah, long time.
In like 2012 or something like that. And then I started and I was like, no. She not Mumu. She like double Mumu, fresh. Like
she's been working.
But not. Let me explain something to you. Your music, and it's what I come from. It's what I know. So your music is so powerful. And when you go from the singing into opera, then you flow into rap. I was like, she called on all spirits.
Right.
She tapped into all of the Native American, the African, the down south, the West Baltimore, the hood side, the classy side. I was like, yes. And I'm just so honored to know you. And I'm so grateful of the way you're using your gift in the world.
Thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome.
I have to. I can only give homage to my mother, my aunts, my grandmothers, my uncles, like those people who, trained me in a way. They trained me in the way of a consummate professional, of a person that's like a cultural bearer, you know what I mean? Like that's always been ingrained in my mind, like protect the culture, be the culture. Like whenever you go out as yourself. Go out to the world, go out as yourself and bring the best of what our culture has to offer, even if it's not appreciated at this moment in time, even if it's, being in the music industry, there's this constant chant of dumb down, don't sing too much, don't sing too jazzy, don't sing too, don't be too big, don't be too smart, like all those things. I'm just always like, well, I was raised different, so I'm gonna have to be smart.
Yes.
and big and cultural, and I'm gonna have to be the full, a virgin and expression of my culture and of myself, like that's what I've always done. And it's funny, like it hasn't always been appreciated, but I feel like we're coming into a time where people are in need of that, they're in of the type of music that really is healing, that connects us back to a source, music that you can really feel. You can like the vibration of it is nutritious. We kind of done, you know what I mean? A lot of people, I'm hearing that like I'm done with the dead music. dead food,
Yes.
you know, I need some nutritious food. So I just think it's just power in staying consistent, being who you are after a while, you know, the constant water will wear away any stone, right? My grandma used to say.
Yes. That's standing in your truth.
Yeah.
So tell me about the meaning of the sound healer, honey.
Okay.
Yes.
It's really just coming full circle to who I've always been. You know, when you're young, you kind of like, I remember just thinking my mother, as a kid, I would watch my mother and my grandmother. I would go with them to different people's houses and they would lay hands on them and they would sing over their bodies. They would take pain out of women who was having menstrual cramps or women that were giving birth or people who had arthritis. You know, I've seen my mother sing in the area of someone's lungs to move fluid out of their lungs. You know, I didn't really know what was going on at the time. I just know that they were healers and they were training me to be a healer. But it was so, it's like I've come full circle to myself. I've been in the music industry. I've toured the world. I've had record deals. And I'm like, nah, what I started out with was the real deal. All this other stuff is, it's some
you know, it's funny. It's funny you said that because like not taking anything up from any of your experiences, but from your foundation, you were already trained. So before going to Duke Ellington, before American Idol, all of these things, you were already ready. So when they say stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready, Maimouna Youssef was already ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't
in the house. What your mother say? Get the broom, or your grandmother tell them to get the broom out, girl, that Harlem stage. Woo! Yes.
It's just so interesting. I always tell my mother, I tell her thank you. When we was kids, we definitely thought our parents was crazy. Nobody else was you know, into the culture that deeply. And it's like, why are we doing this? You know, but now I really get it. Like, so me and my mom are building a sound healing retreat center now. And I'm like, okay, I get it. This is the work. You know what I mean? The other stuff is cool. Nightclubs, rap bars, you know what I mean? The tour festivals, that's cool. But this is the work when you really see someone be transformed by the gift that God is working through you. You know, it's a different kind of purpose, you know, that you feel about your life, you know. And so, and my mom, she knew all the while. She always knew. And I said, oh my God, my mom's so extra. When I would be in high school, when my mother would come to the school, people would come by the class and say, your mama's here. I said, how you know? They said, it got to be your mama's. Right. She got bells on and beads and she making noise as she walked down the hallway. She got on all traditional garb. They got I'm like, Mommy, you're so loud.
Right. But you know what is so funny? Because I had my mom on the podcast last week and just teaching about all of that. And people just so appreciated the interview and the conversation because I talked about how like growing up in Newark, New Jersey, like we already had friends that were African and friends that were from the Caribbean and listened to the music and eating the food, but it wasn't cool then. They used to tease us, you must be Jamaican, you must be a Haitian. Why you dressed like this? Why, you know, all of those things. And now it comes full circle. I'm like, we've been doing that. Y'all just, it's new to you. We've been doing it. So, and you feel uncomfortable, but you be like, Mommy, I'm so grateful for all the talks, the behind whoopings, the experiences to the museums, the library, everything.
My God, I'm super grateful. Can't even tell you. Yep, and there's so many things that have become popular. Like I remember my mom used to make us yoni steam when we was young girls. I was like, why do I have to do this? And now yoni steaming is like a full-on business. Like, hey, you know, $25 you can yoni steam. I was like, what? That stuff my mother was doing.
But you know what's so funny now? I didn't get it that early, but I got it years ago. But when the pandemic happened, let me tell you about a real friend. My girlfriend called Laura. It was we was pandemic and I was doing my yoni steams at that time, but it was a pandemic. We had to stop. Honey, my girlfriend sent me a pot. Okay. She said, Aisha, you can do this in the house. She sent me a 5-quart pot. So I got my pot for yoni steaming. I got my stool I sit on, my herbs and everything, and I yoni right up in here. You know what I'm saying?
My mom used to make us sanitary napkins out of hemp, out of fabric, you know, and we used to hate it because we really couldn't go anywhere because you never knew when it was coming to betray you, you know.
Right. She betray you.
Yeah. So and she would say, well, it's fine because you need to stay home anyway while you're bleeding. You need to focus on your spirit, talk to God, talk to the moon, you know, release the old in with the new. And literally, like my mom ended up getting our school to approve our days that we had to stay home because we were bleeding.
Yes, honey. Like they
we got days for racism recuperation too.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And first of all, your performance with you, your mother, and Jennifer for
Yeah.
Harlem. First of
Mhm.
all, let me explain something to y'all. Y'all have to look it up. It was a concert, but it was a retreat. It was healing. It was
Mhm.
spiritual. She was like, take out and write your affirmations. And I love the way you set it up because you're like, okay, y'all see me perform, but this gonna be a little different for you.
Right.
And
Yep.
you just brought them in, and the vibe of you and your mom and her spirit and her energy. I was like, I know that. And y'all voices, I said, y'all better come through, okay?
Right.
And y'all start singing the Negro spiritual. I said, what happened? I'm over here and my body just tingled. All of
Mhm.
that. I tell people I was born into Islam. I practice
Mhm.
Buddhism, but we're gonna have some gospel music on all the
Yes,
time.
we are. Yes, we
Yes,
are.
yes,
I feel
we
the
is.
same way. My mother and grandmother had already converted to Islam, but I would still go to her house in summer and learn gospel music because it's
Mm-hmm.
still a part of our culture. It's a
Yes.
frequency that we
Mm-hmm.
use for healing, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's what it is.
Yes. So I need to we need so first of all the song with Leela James
Mhm.
that's called Never Break My Soul. Let me explain something to you. And it's like what you said, something like if it doesn't break you, it's like you're just gonna move through. It's like you're gonna get your feelings hurt. Like we got to get up and keep pressing. Now,
Yeah.
is this something that Leela wrote, or you co-wrote with her, and you just came
Yeah.
up with your part?
She said I wrote my part, the rap part. She wrote, her part, her and her team. So she
Mm-hmm.
sent me the song with the chorus and her verse is already there. She's like, sis, you got anything for this? I said, yes, I do. Yes,
Yes.
I do. I know this story very well.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was just like, I wanted to create something that was a person. It placed you in that moment of personal reflection with God. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna get through this. I ain't there yet. I'm still, I'm still in my hurt place. I
Mm.
know that you can get me through this. I've seen myself get through this before. I know I can
Mm.
do this. I don't feel like it right now, but I know I know that you can carry me through this.
Yes.
I'll be better on the other side. I got to just keep visualizing myself,
Mm.
looking good, feeling good, sounding good. I gotta visualize my bounce back and just remembering every generation that has bounced back. Every generation that, I think
Mm-hmm.
about my great grandmother who was a sharecropper who's um my grandfather's coming back from the war and lost his mind, and there was no mental health services, for our
Mm.
people, who
Yes.
were really dealing with serious PTSD, and he would wake up in the middle of the night thinking he was still in war and would beat my
Mm.
grandmother, great grandmother.
Oh
And she
my.
packed up all of her boys in a wagon and her
Mm-hmm.
shotgun and moved on, as a woman by
Mm-hmm.
herself, and set up a new farm, and and was sharecropping on this other farm, and the person, the white man there who owned the farm didn't want to pay her boys at the end of the um,
Mm-hmm.
harvest season, and she pulled up on him with a gun at the door,
I
like,
was about to say, yeah, you need to
put
shop
money on the
tap
ground,
in.
on the
Mm-hmm.
ground. I'm gonna need that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Imagine, this is like the 1920s
Mm-hmm.
for her to be a black woman of color, to be moving around
Right.
with a horse and buggy and a shotgun,
Right.
anybody to, and having to overcome just what she had to overcome, and the fearlessness that she had to hold within herself to not be violated, to say by any means necessary. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I love my grandmother used to always say, and I still say this. I'd rather what she would say, sleep in hollow logs and drink muddy water.
Mm.
And I told somebody just that the other day.
Yep. But like, no, thank you. I don't eat pork. Mine is just what I tell them. I'll be like, when somebody comes with some BS, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't eat pork.
Right.
Just stop it with the nonsense. But let me tell you something. Your
Right.
great grandmother she's the original OG, and she's
Right.
the true meaning of dead ass. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
She was rolling in them streets. So how do you center yourself when you're writing, especially if you want to write or you have a project you need to finish, complete, manifest, but you may be in a space that your vibe or your frequency isn't where you want it to be. How do you get yourself back to center and focus?
Yeah, that is rough sometimes. Like, I prefer to write when I'm in that space, but at the same time that can't always happen. People got deadlines for their albums coming out. So I generally would say, like, I'm gonna book the studio time and go in the studio because I need a deadline.
Yes.
I need some borders and some consequences.
Right.
And I just play it over and over and over again. I just think through the process. I try to think through moments when I felt that way. Right. It's the same sort of thing when you're acting, right? When you're getting into character, you got to utilize things that you felt before to get into that character. So I try to feel that same way. Like, where was I at in this moment? Do you remember how you felt when he said such and such to you?
Okay, you got to call up.
Yeah, and it's not always enjoyable because, like, I'm working on a song right now, and I don't really want to go back to that place, but I know that it can help somebody, so I'm like, all right, let me clear my schedule, do it at a time where when I'm done, I may still need to process my feelings, and I have time and space to still do that, but I never I hate when people want you to unpack and they ain't got time to pack you back up. Don't ask me to unpack if we ain't got time for the whole process.
No, that's for real. Even in therapy, they bring you in, they take you up and bring you down properly.
And I teach songwriting. I have to go, I make time for that process as well. So if we're going to unpack and get deep and go there, all right, then we need to make sure we still got some time left where we can be like, all right, so where are we at right now? How are we feeling now? What positive affirmation can we think about in this moment? And I think gratitude is one of the best ways. Like when I'm really hurt and really not feeling in a great place, I just start listing my gratitude. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mobility. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful I ain't pregnant by no effort. Wait, can I?
Yes, you can cuss. Now say that again.
I'm grateful I ain't pregnant by no fuck nigga. I'm grateful that I'm grateful that I got, I got people that love me, people that support me. I'm grateful I just go through my list of all the stuff. I'm grateful. I'm grateful I can afford eggs this month.
No, because eggs is damn expensive. Okay? For real.
And you gotta go through your gratitude and bring you back to center. Because however bad it is, it ain't as bad as it could be.
That's right. Or what it used to be.
Yeah. And it's like still on purpose. God got a purpose for you. And if you're here, you're supposed to be learning something in this space in this season. And when you learn that, then you can move to the next space in the next season.
You better. Yep. That's how you graduate. And that's why I said, if you don't get the lesson, you are doomed to repeat it. You're gonna get kept back. You staying back. You're repeating the grade, repeating the class until you get it. So with that speaking, said I ain't with no fuck boy. Let me explain something to you. My new spiritual ratchet ghetto hood anthem is Work in Progress. Because let me say, and I've been trying to explain myself at 52, but I'm like, I'm classy, I'm intelligent, but I tap into her. I will call her. Let me tell you something. That Work in Progress, that song right there is everything. Y'all can go check that out. You can find her music on all the music platforms, okay? And you can go to YouTube, all that stuff as well. Work in Progress is dope. I love the I'm in my feelings. That right there. But
my petty anthem. I don't make petty music often, but every once in a while.
No, but when I heard, I was like, but she right. Damn it, if I don't go with him no more, you don't go with his ass no more either. Okay. We're not friends. So none of it.
Okay. Seriously.
Yes.
That's about loyalty, baby.
No, that's real. That's real. And I was like, that's right. Right. I've graduated from that, but I damn it get it.
Yeah.
When I move, you move. Just like that.
Yes.
So you released your first album, Black Woman Magic, March 1st of 2011. So now you have a new album coming out on your birthday this year, March 10th.
Yeah,
and
so
what is it entitled?
The first single is Find My Way Back. And it's like very much about that moment when you realize that you don't know how you got off center, but you off center. Right? You're not like, I'm not sure how I got here, but I gotta get back to myself. I've allowed friends, situations, work, whatever. Like you take a job just as an interim period, then it's 5 years later. You're like, hold on, I was supposed to do my passion. Or you've been having a good time eating a little too much. You're like, oh wait, this extra 25. What is extra 25? Hold on, I gotta find my way back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's about like, I'm coming back to myself. Maybe I've been pouring out to everybody else. And I realize I don't have nothing left for myself and I feel depleted. So now I got to be a little selfish and pour into me right now. So
yes,
that's the song, Find My Way Back. It's off of the album. It's called The Healing. That'll be coming out this summer. So March 10th, make sure you check out Find My Way Back. It's on all streaming platforms under Mumu Fresh, Find My Way Back. So I'm excited about it. We always got new music always coming. I have another project with my mom that's coming out this year too. My first full project with my mother.
Okay.
So
awesome. Yes. So now you have, is it the Vintage Babies? What's that one about your money? I said, I know the hell that's right. Give me my money. Are we going to back to the money? Are we going to tear this whole mofo up?
Because you know how sometimes as you're progressing in your craft, right? What you used to, yesterday's price is not today's price. And sometimes
Say it again. What happened?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Thank you.
And people who have known you the longest sometimes will really get in their feelings about not being able to get yesterday's price. I'm like, honor my gift and my progression. Like, I've done the work for today's price. So this is what it is, with love and respect. Just like I want to support you and pay you what your worth is, then I want you to also, don't tell me I'm acting funny.
Right.
All right, then
our cousins do that.
Listen, this is the price though. I love you with the love. And I do plenty of nonprofit, but this is the price though. I want you to know.
No, and our cousins do that, and they don't understand. And I think that, and you may get this being a artist of singing, vocal artist, but as a comedian, because they think it's so easy.
Right.
Anybody can tell a joke until they get their asses up on that stage.
Right.
See, you at the table and at Thanksgiving is different than you having to command the audience, the room, and fill the space. And even when they're not laughing, you still got to believe in that joke.
Yeah.
And know it works someplace, or it's going to work someplace else, right?
Right.
No, for real. And what people don't understand, because we all have gifts and purposes, that we need to be compensated for our gift and our purpose, so we don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't say, I'm not doing this anymore. So we need your support in that. Thank you, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. You know, during the pandemic, I remember someone saying, hey, can you do a free gig for vulnerable communities that have been heavily impacted by the pandemic, communities whose industries are really devastated? I was like, you mean like my industry? You want me to do a free show to support people's industries who've been devastated like my industry has? Why would you think why am I not also included in the vulnerable population? Black woman, mother, artist, independent.
Right. Yeah.
And literally the person was like, oh, I never thought about you like that. I just figured you're an artist, you're okay. I'm like, what? No, that's the wrong way to look at it. So I've had people say, well, see, you just got to sing. I got to go to work every day. I said, what?
We only need 10 minutes. We just like 10 minutes. Like, can you just give us like a half of your song? That's all we need. And they think that's going to change the price. No. So now you got to break it down in time. Minimum is a minute. That's the.
Listen, I got to start by the time I start getting dressed.
No. By the time you called me.
Oh, okay.
And I booked it.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I got to look at. I have to rehearse. I have to get my outfit together, my hair. So the progress started before the day of.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't get.
It always costs to show up anywhere. It costs to be there.
Yep.
Whether you're getting childcare, taking care of my booking agent, my road manager, my sound engineer, like it's a whole thing. Everything costs. And so it's just, sometimes it's just like, I like when people are honest up front, like, hey, I don't have no budget. You know what I mean? What do you think you get? Because maybe I might just show up in the 10. I could come speak, maybe. You know what I mean? Just if I want to give that to you. But it's just a general respect. Like, honor the fact that it's going to cost me regardless. If it costs me, it's going to cost me regardless. So when I feel like that is honored, or at least like an exchange of energy, that's what I told someone recently. They said, well, could you just do like a soft version? I said, oh, my versions don't come in soft and hard. I just I just have what I do. You know what I mean? I have my workshop. I have my concert that don't come in soft and hard. So if I show up, I'm going to give my all. I'm not going to do a lesser version of what my gift is. I'm not going to offer less. I'm going to give it all. So that's why I have to be compensated for all of what I'm going to bring. I don't never come half. I'm always whole. So and I say, and I get if you don't have a big budget, but I want us to talk through what is an equal energy.
Yes, that's right.
That has to be
barter. You can barter, and you got to hold up your end of the bartership. If I do mine, when I come back for mine from you, you need to show up too. So you recently were in Dubai. How was that experience?
It was incredible. We've been working on it for a couple of years. I started writing for a magazine over there, Soul DBX magazine. So I was writing poetry and writing just social commentaries about what was happening in the Black community during the pandemic. And so they were saying, like, after the pandemic, we really want to bring you. So finally, we got it all together. They brought my whole band out. It was really, really incredible. Like, they took such good care of me. And I have to tell you, when I leave the United States, it's a different type of love and appreciation. Like, they don't make you beg for what you deserve. I experienced the same thing in Europe. Like, they really take care of you. They honor your gift. They are very appreciative, of what you're sharing and what you're bringing and the authenticity of it. Like we come from the home, from the source, the black source.
Right.
We're all black music.
Right.
Bringing all of that unadulterated. Like we bring all of who we are. And it was incredible. I mean, we did all of the touristy things. We went out to the sand dunes, with the camels. We went to Abu Dhabi, we went to Sharjah, we went to including Dubai. So we also different souks, the markets, the gold markets, the spice markets,
yes.
We did all the things.
Yes, Razia went there when her husband was working there, and she brought back the spot. I still have some methahimina, whatever you sniff, the spearmint or something that.
I got some right in my case.
Yes, and you put it and it lasts, and you only need a little bit. And I have a friend, Joan, she's over there teaching in Abu Dhabi. Okay. And let me tell you something. She was like, Aisha over here, she's Jamaican. She was like, yacht parties every day, everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they party, they get their life. Yeah.
It really, really is incredible. It was fun. And just, it was just awesome. They took such great care of us. Hotels are immaculate.
Yes.
Everything. They refreshed my walnuts and my dates and my apple pie.
Yes.
It was incredible.
What you absolutely deserve.
We had it back there this year too. So we made a lot of it.
Awesome. And that the way that you share it on social media, and it's like it's not beyond any of our reaches.
Yeah.
And it didn't just happen. Like you said, you had created a relationship. You cultivated a relationship. You had been working and offering things, and then y'all had also been negotiating and talking about you coming there to perform. Now, didn't you also do a workshop or something?
I did. Yeah, I have a workshop called Heart Song that I teach. It's therapeutic songwriting. Really, really, really powerful workshop. I developed it during the pandemic to process some of the emotions that artists were having, or not even just artists, because I also have a class called Art After Birth for mothers who wanted to be singers but had children and didn't feel like they could really manage doing music with their kids, and maybe their kids are a little older, or some of them are just about to have kids or just had them. But I wanted to create a space because mothers often feel like their time is up, like it's not enough time for them, and they didn't get to have their dream. So I wanted to create a space. We pick a time when the babies is napping or the kids at school or whatever, and like this is your time to cultivate your creativity inside of yourself. Even if you don't never put music out, if you are an artist, you have to create art. You need that for your own well-being. So I taught that class in Dubai, and it was incredible. I just love how I've done it for students in Tokyo, Belgium, and even sometimes when there's a language barrier, we have a translator. And I remember one of my students in Tokyo said, I don't really understand what you're singing, but the sound of it makes me cry. It's like it's unearthing something inside of me, and I don't even know what you're saying. And I said, well, that's the power of vibration. That's sound healing. That is sound healing. It doesn't matter that you don't understand the language. The language after sound. Sound was first.
Yes. You know what? I was in and this was many years ago. I was in Okinawa, Japan, and it was on a military basis. They have the natives that work there, whether they're married to the soldiers or not. And a Japanese woman came up to me, and she had broken English, and she was explaining to me. She said she doesn't speak the language. She said, but I know that it's good because it's so many people smiling and laughing. And that stayed with me because she didn't know what I was saying, but she knew it was good. You understand? She knew it was good, and that was early 2000s. And it's like when your intention is good and the vibration and the frequency is good, people ain't got to understand you. Yeah, they know where you're coming from. They know your spirit. But like that's what I ain't got to know you for a long time. I'm connecting with your spirit, and if your spirit ain't right, we're gonna go and move on. Exit left. That is absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, do you still do work with because now you a graduate grown woman? Do you do workshops with Work in Baltimore?
I haven't in a long time. Me and Mama Kay have been talking about putting something together, but because I want to do a one woman show, so I asked her if she can help me, create that one woman show because I have a lot of stories to tell.
Yes.
So, we have that in the works. Yeah.
So we showing Maimouna's all her fresh album covers, photos. So she be killing the photo shoots and the outfits. This picture right here, Queen of Culture. When she said, "Wait a minute, what's that song?" She said, "I know, whole rap or something." I said, "What she said?"
Oh wait, what I say? Hold on. That's on Rap God, right? I'll make you rewrite your verses. Make you purpose your purpose. Search for your purpose.
She said, and then what you say on Back to the Money, you said, "You gonna be happy I came, but sad when I'm going." I said, "I know the hell that's right." And it's the words, the lyrics, so powerful. I'm like, she a smart mouth ass, but
all right.
But I get it. This picture here is when she performed in 2019 on Black Girls Rock, and she did the song to Sandra Bland, who died in the police custody. Y'all know the story. If you don't, research it. This is Rap God. You better wear that royal blue, girl.
That's why I said you never learn how to rap, only whore. I saw you made them change the lineup on the tour.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to settle the score, but you never learn how to rap, only whore.
Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, she done called out some people. Yeah, very powerful.
Bring the heat.
And then dig on my boyfriend man friend. We ain't never met, but we go together. Yes. Black Thought, just to excuse me to his wife. I apologize, girl. But thank you. And if you haven't watched the Tiny Desk concert, that is just amazing. We have the violinist and DJ Dummy. I mean, it is just amazing. And look, she got comfortable, honey. You start taking your shoes off because you know how I was like, she took her shoes off, she went down. I said, yes.
Because sometimes to sing real good, you gotta get flat-footed.
No, for real. For real. Like I have a show in Greensboro, North Carolina tonight, and I pulled out some shoes. And Spirit, like you're not. So I might, if I wear them out, I might wear them out. They have somebody unbuckle them for me because you just got to be grounded to the earth when you perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what shoes I'm gonna wear? I could put some sneakers on, so I get it. Yes.
Queen, someone in your comments said they have video footage of me at 15.
Oh wow!
I would love to get a copy of that.
Yes, she said she would love a copy of that. So let me see. Katanya, there we go.
Oh, Bohemian.
So this is Maria Weaver. She's in Baltimore. So that's a personal friend. Natural feeling. She got some bad jewelry, and she makes the knitted hats. And she was actually a guest on the show also. So we can get that. We got Maria in.
I would love to see that. I don't have a lot of footage of myself back in the day. I don't have stuff I did with Woundwork, but I gotta even ask them where that stuff is. I played cocaine in the play.
Yeah, and listen. Yeah, and they have a clip. I gotta go on YouTube and see. It was a clip of me performing at one of the events they did during AFRAM, I think. Mm-hmm. One of the I don't know if it was a playhouse or something in Baltimore. I have to look and see if that footage is still up from some years ago.
Okay.
Hey Q. Yeah, so Q is a personal friend of a friend. So we cousins. Me and Q, we cousins.
Okay.
His cousins. Yes. How is your son doing? How old is he now?
He's doing good. He's 16 years old.
Are you kidding me?
I know. He's 16. Wow. A whole 16-year-old.
Wow. Do you want more children?
We'll see if God has that in plan.
That's right. Because if you spinning and twirling and bouncing, yes, honey. That's a work in progress.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so with your single coming out on your birthday, and then the album you said is coming later this year, you and your mom have a project and you have your workshops. Mm-hmm. Do you have, because here's the thing, you are like, I was trying to think of a word. I was like, she's more than a triple threat, not to take nothing away from the triple threaters. But I'm like, you have so much. So do you see are you going to be doing acting?
Yeah, I just auditioned for a movie. So we'll see, keep your prayers in the works for me. I definitely want to act. And I've also been, I've been writing my own script because I also feel like I do want to act, but I also don't see a lot of stories that I feel reflected in. I'll be honest with you, Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna have to write. Yes. I'm gonna have to write my own story because I want to portray the types of characters that I feel reflected in and that I grew up seeing. I don't see a lot of the women we grew up with and how they moved in the world. It was just they were different, a very much really like a subculture. You know what I mean? They did their own thing, went against the grain, did not with the crowd. Like I'm like, where are those stories at?
Right. And we're okay with not moving with the crowd and still taking care of their family and providing for their family.
If my mom takes pride in not moving with the crowd. If she finds herself in the crowd, she's like, wait a minute, something's off.
What's your mother's sign?
She's a Virgo.
Oh, well, yes, and they are highly intellectual people, and they don't move with the crowd.
She do her own thing, and she always just say, "Time will tell." It's fine. You don't gotta believe me. Time will tell. And she things my mother said 20 years ago, and I just thought that like that's the most outlandish thing to say aloud. And then like 20 years later, it'd be like everyone's saying it's the norm. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I'm not be honest. She be knowing.
Yeah, my mom always till this day she still says, "Keep living."
Right.
Keep living. What you said today, you wasn't gonna do, and all those things that weren't gonna happen. Keep living. Yeah. Keep living. Yeah. So
and that's wisdom to not even go back and forth with nobody. You got it. Keep living.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Go watch the More special. Okay. And I'm just gonna say it's called Knowledge, No Wisdom. And she talked about she don't say keep living. She said, "Oh, okay." Because some people you don't even have no conversation with. You just be like, "Oh, okay." Like your son, for instance, he may say something because they know so much. You just like, "Oh, okay." You got it until later on, and we see what happens. Yes, that is dope. So who would you like to work with in the near future? Like a celebrity, whether it's an actor or artist.
Oh man, definitely. You know what? I would like to work.
Who's begging to work with you?
Okay, I would work with Kendrick Lamar. Andre 3000 has always been like my favorite rapper of all time. I don't know if he ever recorded no more music or not, but that'll be like high on my priority list. Nas, we performed together before, but definitely it'd be dope to make some music together. I love Jasmine Sullivan, listen, and one of my acting muses is Lynn Whitfield. We did a reading of Between the World and Me, Ta-Nehisi Coates at Apollo right before the pandemic, and I said, I just told her how much I loved her. I said I channel her whenever I'm acting. Yes, I go to the channel. I just love how I don't know. She's just so powerful and classy, and just like
she's like our Diane Carroll of today. Like
she tear you apart.
Yes,
so beautiful and poetic, and you kind of just like, I didn't mind being torn apart by you. Yeah, man, I would love to work her and just be coached by her. As an actress, I just think I think the world of her. She's so incredible. Awesome. Yeah, so it's a lot of people. I gotta think through it, but my main thing is like I'm really, really focused on like I have, I don't know if you've seen any of my music videos, but like the last music video I shot was for the one before last was called North Star, and that's the first video that I really like did all the parts for the treatments. We got the wardrobe and stuff together. It was a period piece. It was so difficult. I had no idea how hard it would be to stage a piece in the 1800s. Just making sure that the styling, the shoes were the right shoes for that time period, the lighting, we were on horses, we're riding horses and all that kind of stuff. But it was an incredible experience. I wanted to do more directing, more cinematography for my visuals. And at some point I want to be able to put all of my songs together. Like I don't know if you ever seen this piece called Across the Universe, where they take all of the Beatles songs and make one storyline. So there's like all these music videos from the Beatles that they recreate, and then narrative in between it. There's a whole storyline. So that's something I'm interested in doing with. Wow. Yeah. So you
better go ahead, girl.
All these these spheres, filmmaking, and
you're already pregnant. You're already pregnant with all this. Yes, and you birthed. Yes.
And I'm scoring a musical right now too. So I'm also getting into that world. When someone asked me to do it, I had never done it before and wasn't really sure if I could. But I said, it can't be that much different from writing music and making music videos. And so I got into the process and I have been loving it. It's really fun. It's expanding me in so many ways. I'm like, yep, I'm adding that to my resume.
Yes, because you say yes and figure it out later. Yep. Say yes and do the research. Awesome. So where are you? What part of the world are you living in, or what part of the country?
I'm on the East Coast. Trying to keep my son close with the family and everything. Awesome. So I'm on the East Coast.
Good. And it's amazing how it's like you're Baltimore, Philadelphia, DC, Maryland. It's like I think that is just so dope. Right, because I think also because it gives us a balance. Like me being from New Jersey and living in DC, I think it gave me the great balance because, as they say, us Northerners are we're aggressive. I don't think we're aggressive, we're progressive, but I think DC gave me the great balance. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you're able to tap in, especially as an artist, you can pull so much.
And you know, DC has been such a great place for me. Like to cultivate my art. So this year, the Washington area, I don't know if I can say it yet, but anyway, I'm getting awarded by the Washington Area Music Group for the work that I've done, building, you know, the DC music scene. And it's not that way anymore, but I remember maybe 2009, 2010, you know, really kind of getting my chops up on the U Street music scene. I've been going to these clubs since I was like 14, sneaking in. And it'd be every club on the street would have a live band in there, and you get in there and work with the live band and create music, you know, improv, and that stuff really, really builds your chops. It builds your challenges you. Those places are honestly like gentrification kind of ruins those experiences because there's a whole bunch of stipulations. There's no parking. You know what I mean? They're not hiring those same musicians. But at that time, it was really very much like a haven for artists to really get their craft up. I learned so much. A lot of artists who are very uncomfortable using bands if they are not, you know, if they're only accustomed to using tracks. If they're just like making beats up in their bedroom and singing over them. When you put them on a live stage with musicians, they're like completely falling apart. You know, they can't move. But to me, the music is that's
it's live. It's alive. It's alive.
That's the
real time
of being able to move and you know, change and adapt to the environment and still come out on top. Like that's where the true talent, I think, lies.
Yes.
And
DC has that.
On those in that corridor.
Yes. And that's why, like, they're talking about Bohemian Cavern. But is it Cavern or Cave? I can't remember what it is. The Cavern, yeah. So like U Street, if y'all don't know DC, U Street was like jumping. There's so much history from music.
From like the early 1920s, like, and maybe even a little bit before then. Yeah.
Yes. Even with the Howard, with the Howard Theater reopening and all of that stuff, it has so much history. And Maimouna, you are also instrumental in creating category for the conscious artists with the Grammys.
Yeah, with the Grammys, it's the first time we've ever had a category. It's called Best Song for Social Change. Beautiful. So this category would award artists who are writing music for social change, because we know historically artists are penalized for making songs about social change, about social issues. You know, a lot of artists are afraid to do it. They feel like, you know, people won't feel it. It'll ruin their livelihood. They'll piss people off. They won't, you know, get endorsements. And so they're muzzled. They're not able to speak their truth, you know. So we wanted to create something that would celebrate it, condone it, make it a good thing, open up that doorway, and also incentivize young people to want to create more socially conscious music, especially during a time where rappers are being incarcerated on RICO laws. This is a great time to reassess what we're writing about. You know, you will tell your truth. No one's saying don't tell your truth, but one, we can tell it in a more creative way, and we can expand the scope of what is our truth. You know, our story is very multi-layered. There's a lot that we can tell about our stories that won't end up inciting. They won't end you up in jail.
Right. Expand the vocabulary and how we express and say things. And I think a lot of times, and just being an artist, a comedian, I can say whatever I want. I'll never forget when I first went natural. My dad was like, well, Aishah, like, how is that going to affect your career? I said, I'm a comedian. I can say and do whatever I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't caught up in the hair. You understand? I wasn't attached to it like that. And when I went natural, like, that hair made it even more. Then I was like, okay, it's time to move on to something else. And then I cut it all off. And, you know, just those things, we have to be okay. We have to do it scared. How about that? We have to do new things scared. We have to be able to step into it scared. It's so funny because when I did my prayers today, this came to me. It says, today is today. No judgment. Just so whatever it is you're experiencing today, going through, writing, whatever, just stay in that today, that moment right there. Yeah. So So you talked about all of the projects that you worked on during the pandemic, but personally, how did you press through the pandemic? Like, what was that experience like?
I just had to really pivot. That first couple of weeks, I never lost so much money in my life in 1 week. I'm saying, cancel. Like, no,
Right.
you're not getting this deposit back. No, I'm joking.
No, she did.
Yeah.
No,
no, it was scary. It was terrifying. We were thinking it was going to be 2 weeks, and based on the cancellations, we were like, nah, it's going to be longer than this. So, sorry. My son up. So I started teaching. I started teaching songwriting online. Like, it's something I already knew I could do. So it was like a shift. Give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay.
Give us 5 minutes, sir, please.
I gotta take him to his program.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had to make the shift to, all right, what are my other skills? So we can't be on stage. We can't breathe in front of each other. We can't touch each other. We can't. So what are my other skills? And tap right into it. So I was like, I teach songwriting. I teach singing. I do vocal lessons. Then I went to audio engineering school. So then I learned how to set up my own recording studio. All the tracks that I recorded that year, I recorded them myself. So with Tobe and the Wigway, the song I did with him, I recorded at home. I did like 3 songs on Salam Remy's album, Black on Purpose. I recorded those at home. And so it's like, I just was like, I got to tap into my other skills. Right. So I started a company called University Studies, and I had a roster full of artists from all around the world that started teaching. And then the virtual shows kind of became a thing. So now I got to learn how to do that. So I'm ordering equipment, and I got lights and backdrops and this and that. It was tough. I'll be honest with you, just dealing with the technical difficulties that came up sometime. So my son was my tech man and my camera guy. But I was looping. So I was trying to like record myself on my looper. And sometimes the battery would start to die, but it won't tell you that it's dying. It'll just morph the sound. No, it won't stop. It'll morph the sound. So I'm thinking I got an hour concert, and I listen back, and it's like, and at that point, I'm just ready to pass out. Like, are you kidding me? So it was definitely a challenge. I had to keep showing up, talking to my therapist a lot, showing up.
I'm going to say spiritually, how did you? Yeah, spiritually, what was that?
The blessing of it is that I didn't realize how drained I had been being on the road for so long. During the pandemic, my hair grew, my eyes, my skin was better, my nails was healthier. Like, honestly, it was very taxing and draining doing as much as I had been doing, and I didn't think anything of it. I would say things like, I would sometimes get 2 booking requests in different cities, and I'd be like, is it humanly possible? Let me see how many hours I got in between. I can take I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just burning the candle at both ends and didn't realize it. So spiritually, it was great for me because I'm able to get back into my ritual, doing my affirmations, taking my aromatherapy baths, making my tea, doing all, my yoni steam, just doing all of my different things that I really didn't have time. I didn't make any time for anymore. Reading, studying, learning new things. So that part was good, but I never stopped working. I don't think I really I was working differently.
Yes.
We made some money during the pandemic because I was like, I went into my dad mode. My dad and my granddad. I remember my granddad, the story of him working on the railroad, and this must have been the 40s. And he said, the only way I'm not gonna make no money is because money don't exist no more. But if it exists,
that's right.
I'm gonna get some of it, right? So he'll work on the railroad. My mother would say that he would strap stakes to his chest, bloody stakes to his chest, and then wrap something around it, and sticks of butter and different things that we couldn't, their family couldn't afford. And he said, why only white folks eat steak and have butter? We deserve real butter too.
I know, that's right.
He would tuck all this stuff around his chest and put his coat on and go home and say, we got steaks. We had this mind state of like, nah, y'all ain't the only one that get to eat steaks, bro.
I know, that's right.
Steaks too, because he's already being underpaid, undervalued, being called boy every day. Oh, I'm gonna get some steak.
For real.
You gonna owe me some steak.
Yeah. So let me. I want to add. I have a favor to ask. Because my song, My Love, when I heard this song, when I tell you my body started tingling, my ears watering, and you said so many real things like finding my way back. I can't wait to hear that song because I think in the pandemic and just as artists, we give so much. So we got to come back and remember to give from the overflow, not the cup. But I would like you, if you can, and if you can do it, please announce that this is your song and you have the rights to it. Can you please sing Miracle for me? Or a piece of it, because I know you have to go. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I am ready to be vulnerable. I am ready to finally let go. I want to be annoyingly in love. I want to let my guard down. I want to step out on faith. I want to dance out in the rain. I want to quit running away, 'cause I'm always on the first train. When an old bag lady looking on the red line on the northeast side, look dead in my eyes and cried. I said, "You're good," and she sighed and replied. She said, "Your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come till you're ready. Baby, what you gonna do? Your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come till you're ready. Baby, what you gonna do?"
Thank you. So dope. You so dope. You so dope. You so dope. So now, Katanya, your cousin from Baltimore, she wants to show your video North Star, but we know that you have to go, Maimouna Youssef, aka Mumu Fresh. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Yes,
love you, sis.
Love you too. Thank you you are amazing, and don't you ever forget that. You are so dope, and I wish you even more expansion in everything you touch. What did your mother say on Harlem Stage? She said, "From the one who makes the dirt gold, I wish that for you." Okay. She was talking about God. She was like, "He turns the dirt to gold." I said, "I know that's right, Mama."
Right,
yes,
right. Yeah.
So all the best to you. Thank you.
So much.
And let's stay in touch. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And we're going to show the North Star video because Katanya wants to show a piece of part of this video. Please follow Maimouna Youssef on all of her social media platforms. You may find her under Mumu Fresh, Mumu Fresh, and you can find out more information about her on YouTube and everywhere. She is so dope. Big up to Baltimore. Let's check out North Star.
So, a word to anyone who listens. A soldier's on a mission. From Nova Scotia to the southernmost ocean, I boast for old tradition. While less a man a comatose and frozen in a Polaroid, I play my own position. A couple times they kicked me out of school, even though I pay my intuition. Even though I pray for better days, when Pops was locked up in a metal cage. Old Joes with the cornrows, a head of braids on a head of grades. Chasing greens in that feta cheese, instead of meditation to levitate. Some things you can't shortcut, the good word can't be paraphrased. So when you get a stain on your crown from fumbling down, pick it up and brush it off as part of the process. God made us from the dust. It's called favor with stars, shine a light on your dark fate to show you love. Even when you feeling low, you got your faith to hold you up. You got true art plus heart that darts can't pierce. Walk, game, fist. Graduate the block same year. Made a stream out of the same tears. Love lost, same peers. Paid costs, pain heals. Made adjustments through the changes. That's exactly what a king is.
Baby, if you lose your way, it's only a prayer away. You are guiding light, your North Star is with you. You are. It's only a prayer away. Hold on to your dreams. Remember, you're always been different. Spirit flowing through my ligaments. Thought-provoking type of lyricist. Don't come with no health benefits. I was too good to be good enough. They hated that I made them level up. And I was just looking for a friend. Silly me, silly them with the illy pen. Killing me. What's the lost man's medicine? A real ass kind of reckoning. Petty me, petty them. The righteous rose, the lonely one. The words I told my only son. The weak will fold and come undone. The strong will grow and leave them up. But what you do when no one agrees with you, huh? Can you still speak the truth? With no amen, no cosigns, and no praise hands on the post lines. Everybody do the most now. Trying to prove that they woke, huh? May God give us discernment from the fake prophets and the posers. These days can't tell the same from the profane. All the shit, drip, chocolate rain, everything for sale. It's a damn shame. I've been woke so long, my eyelids swole. You couldn't know this road I'm on. I pray we make it home. My king, my son, my throne to carry on. Word bone. On my square, wherever I go, I'm right here. Even when there's fear, my guiding light shines clear. Lifting me above the crowd. Eagle's view above the clouds. Yeah, 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 baby. If you lose your way, if you lose your way, it's only a prayer away. It's only a prayer away. Your guiding light, your north side is with you everywhere. Baby, if you lose your way, hey, it's only a prayer away. Hold on to your dream. Remember, you're a king. You're a king.
That is powerful. Yes, yes, yes. To all of our kings from a queen, thank you, Maimouna, for joining us. That was a dope interview. That was dope. Thank you all for watching. Big up to my boy, Paul Ballard, visiting from Texas. I think he's in the Dallas area. And my cousin, my British Jamaican cousin, Janice, visiting from, came in from Jersey. We started a little late today, but we here. Lanika Maxwell, thank you. Curvy Queen Celeste, thank y'all for joining us. Monique, Maria, who else? Avery's son, thank you, baby. I miss you. My DC home girl, Q. What's up? Thank y'all so much for coming through. Greensboro, North Carolina, I am on my way to you. We have a show. Katanya, can you put that flyer up? We have a show tonight. This is in honor of Women's History Month, so it's an all-female lineup. I protested for it. It wasn't hard, but Eli was like, yes, why? Of course, Queen, we will do that. It is Tickle My Funny Bone. So see you all tonight. Eli has a event center there in Greensboro. So I look forward to meeting and greeting you all and bringing you some laughs and tickling your funny bone. All right, my name is Queen Aishah. You have been watching. I Know Dope People, another fresh, funky episode. If you can go to YouTube, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. Peace and blessings. Be well. Thank you, Katanya. Go, Gabby. Go, Gabby. Go, Gabby. She a sore. Go, ball. Go, Gabby. Go, Gabby.